let me start this presentation with free word association exercise. Something's going to come up there, and you're going to come out and tell me the first thought that pops into your mind. Board games.
Chess. Apple's apple.
Scrabble.
Laughing.
Chess.
Operations.
Nice.
Checkers.
Thank you very much. Notice that excitement did not really come up, although laughing was right there. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, the most welcome guest. This is my presentation about board games, but see what I did there? But let me start by saying, how would you describe a sport? So the following two sports, golf and baseball, could be described as a sport in which you hit a ball with a stick. Would that be accurate? Yes, that would be accurate. Jeremy, would that describe baseball properly? I'm gonna go probably not. You're missing the excitement, you're missing the smell of the grass, you're missing this decisions that you need to make all the time, and being with other people. Now, how would you describe an actual board game? If I asked many people, how would you describe a board game? They would come up with things such like, well, you got some cardboard, some plastic pieces, you've got trying to beat other people on the table, and you're playing dice with strategy. And you know what, I used to play more when I was a kid, mostly when it was a rainy day at the cottage, and it was better than watching paint dry. Now, these are kind of the classic games that I think of when I think of board games. But something happened. I got invited to a games night about 2 years ago from a co-worker of mine. And I wasn't expecting something like what I just showed you, but otherwise, I fell down the rabbit hole. I found this area, this new kind of games, this culture of board games that I did not know it existed. And today I'm going to try as best as I can to share some of that stuff with you guys about how different board games have become in the last little while. Did you know that some board games don't actually have boards? Yeah, some of them have tiles, and you just put tiles and go creating a new desert or a new area. This particular game, Betrayal at the House on the Hill, it's about entering a haunted house, and you can't see anything. But as you go through another room, you pick up a random tile and you create the house. Which means that every time you play this game, it will be on a different type of house. There's actual games that are called cooperative games. Games that you're not trying to beat everybody down the table, but all together you're trying to achieve a certain task. This game, Flashpoint, you are a group of firefighters that is trying to save 3 victims from a fire. And you need to work with your own skills and your weaknesses and the skills of the other players to try to make this happen. Now, it's not like everybody wins, because most times, actually, you end up losing. So the few times that you actually can win, it's a really nice feeling of victory. Then these games are kind of strange. You know how usually when you play games, I'll be the blue one, I'll be the red one, I'll be the yellow one. There's this other kind of games that you don't know who the other player's character is. And the other players don't know who your character is, because you have control of all of them. And if you let them know who you are, they will try to boycott you. So this is a game that style of games that you get to find out who wins at the very last play. Can you see something different about these titles? Different from like chess, Monopoly. Let me give you a hint. The names of the designers are actually on the board. Because knowing who actually designed this game is important. They become small celebrities in their realm. And when they create another game, they got people following them. As a matter of fact, once a year in Germany, German game board critics do some sort of a Oscars night in which they present the best board game of the year. And designers wear that badge of honor on their actual games to show off and to increase their sales. Where do you buy these things? Well, there's this actual board game stores. You can't go to Walmart to get these things. And you walk in there and you see 1,000 board games that you never heard of. Where did they come from? What a conundrum. See what I did there? How do you figure out which game you want to buy or try? So probably you'll end up getting somebody who will recommend one. But if not, you have these avenues. There's YouTube videos, 6 minutes, that will let you know how a game is played. And what the person thinks of that particular game. But there's also YouTube channels that will actually record a game being played throughout from beginning to end, or some funny edits. Can you imagine watching somebody play a full game? Sounds kind of weird? Yeah, it's kind of like watching somebody play golf on TV, or like hockey. Who would do that, right? No, it's crazy stuff. And then there's board game cafes. No more internet cafes. Now there's a place where you can go, pay $2 to get in, and you have thousands of games. You just pick one up with your friends, go and sit down on a table, get yourself a coffee or a donut, and you try a new game. Fantastic. But I tried to put my finger as to why is it that I love board games so much. And is it because of the incredible variety? Well, maybe, but I don't think so. Is it because of the really interesting mechanics of all these new, they're called European style games? There's just so many different ways of playing these things with like dice, with spinners, with actually 3D movements. That wasn't it either. Is it because of the difficulty? Well, I don't know about the difficulty, but it allowed me to play with my daughter, allowed me to play with my peers, and there's some games that I need to avoid because they're just too complicated for me at this point in time. That was really good, but that wasn't it. But what about the value for the money? If you go to the movies with your family, how much are you going to spend? Well, these games are from $30 to $60, right? If you really like that movie, if you want to go back, they're going to charge you again. They will charge you again to watch that movie one more time. But if you buy the board game, you can play as many times as you want for free. And you get an alternate ending every single time. Did you get that one? Now, here's the real reason why I love board games. The best of board games create experiences. And that's what I realized. It's not so much about the game. If I'm playing a game that I think is awesome, but I'm playing with people that I don't really care too much for, I will not really enjoy it. But this allows me to spend time with my family and my friends. See what I did there too? Friends. Some of the best nights I spent in the last 2 years have been around a table with some friends and cardboard and plastic. Mr. Toastmaster.